So is it okay if it's not if a different glass? I'm making Gary laugh. Hello, Ka-Primers. Welcome back to another episode of the Primer Pod's Primer Insider, giving you the inside scoop of everything Ka-Primer. To start with, I am not Tina. As you can see, I am Noel Duldulao. Today is a very special day because we have a very special guest to share with us his thoughts, his experiences, and the things that has guided him through the years. He is none other than, let's put our hands together to Mr. Gary Yeang. Hello, Gary.
Thank you for having me here.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Hey, Gary, just for the benefit of everybody watching us today, can you please give us a brief introduction of yourself?
Well, my name is Gary Yeang. I'm originally from Malaysia, from the island of Penang. And after hearing so much good things about the government of Singapore, I decided to migrate to Singapore.
Oh.
I've been there since 1970.
And what brought you to the Philippines, Gary?
Well, I became the distributor for Samsonite in 1983.
Oh.
And I worked 24/7 for 2 years to build the business. And I felt a bit burnt out by the end of 1984, the second year. And the principal, Marvin, said, listen, why don't you take a break and come with me to the Philippines? So I came here March 1985, my first visit.
And during your trip, how did you come across anyone from Primer then?
We were staying at the Sheraton Century Park Hotel. And when Marvin went to work, I was on my own. So I came downstairs and looked across the road, and there was the old Harrison Plaza. So I went over there for a walk, look around the ground floor. Then I took the elevator up to the second floor, and I saw this little shop called Sweat Shop.
Yeah.
And they had all these macho T-shirts on display in the windows. That attracted me. I was curious. I went inside and Sir Johnny was sitting there, and I looked around and I picked out a couple of T-shirts. I went to him, he came, served me, I paid him, he was also the cashier, and that's how we met each other. I said, I'm Gary, what's your name? He says, I'm Johnny.
An angel meeting one of the board of directors at that time, yeah, Sir Johnny. So during those early years, yeah, how was it? Because obviously, it went well, but was it fun? Was it...
Well, for me, it was fun being able to come here once a month. Initially, it was tough going. Imagine getting only a 20 square meter floor space in Landmark in Makati, and with the simple props, put all the suitcases there, employed 3 sales girls, have to make sure that they give tender loving care service to the consumers. Make sure there's no pilferage, that kind of thing. Initially, things were a little bit neither here nor there, but we were able to get everything together within a month or two because these 5 guys are fast learners. Jerry used to be the delivery man. He would put the stocks in his car and drive it to Landmark to deliver the goods. And Thomas was the banker. Contribution from Johnny was the retailing part. And Sir Jimmy was the visionary guy, So it worked out well, 12 months they bought and sold more than the ex-distributor.
Yeah. But Samsonite was just the start, yeah? Subsequently, we saw growth in the company. Where were you there in those periods of growth, Gary? What were the things that you have worked with the board at that time?
The second brand I introduced to them was Kickers.
Kickers.
I asked my good friend, Mr. Jeff Lim, who was a distributor for Kickers in Singapore. I brought Jeff here, introduced him to Jimmy and Susan. They talked and they agreed to also sell Kickers. Jeff Lim is the stepfather of Mark Jim. So that is how they got the second brand. So you see, today we are still selling left-hand suitcases, right-hand shoes. Those are the 2 pillars of foundation of Primer.
Yeah. And after that, there was no stopping a Primer. And the next brand that came in was, to your memory, was what?
It wasn't a brand. I brought Mark Steele over here to start Union Ink. Mark Steele was doing inks.
Yeah.
Mark Steele was doing inks in Singapore. So We brought him here, introduced him to Johnny and Willie and the guys, and they agreed, okay, we will buy the inks from Singapore, remix the inks and sell it to local printers. So that's how they started Union Ink.
Union Ink, right? Okay.
And the next step, Max showed them this multi-arm printing machine for printing T-shirts. So they started to get orders, other customers to print the T-shirts for them. Basically, print the slogans or cartoons or whatever you have. So that became a business for Union Ink.
Right.
And that's how Union Ink grew.
Right. So during those early years, Gary, how would you describe Primer then?
I think there was a lot of hope.
A lot of hope.
A lot of hope. I would say a lot of hunger.
A lot of hunger.
A lot of hunger. The guys were hungry for success.
For success.
Yeah. For the first taste of money.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody go into business to make money. And also there's a certain amount of grit.
A little bit
of grit. So that they face every obstacle. They try and solve every obstacle. For instance, in 1989, when they had the corner, they put the stocks there, they hired the triggers, and then came the coup d'etat.
And
remember the last coup d'etat against Cory Aquino's government? In December 89, they were shooting McCarthy up. And I would call and say, listen, any pilferage, any plunder of our suitcases, and my money is there. So, we went through all this, but it went off well.
So there was hunger, there was greed.
The determination.
Determination.
So they were on the right path.
That wasn't the right.
They were on fire.
Yeah. Obviously, through the years, Primer has moved on and has become what it is now. Second phase of Primer was a period of growth. And during this period of growth, we saw Primer moving out of its comfort zone in the Philippines towards the region. Can you share with us a little bit about, what you can remember when Primer was moving out towards the region?
1994, I think. 1994, around there, or 5 or 6. Jimmy came to Singapore and we had coffee together. And he says, I want to enter the Singapore market. And I said, well, why don't you go and talk to Jeff Lim? You already know him. Jeff's got a company. He distributes kickers in Singapore and in Malaysia. So they start to talk. And Jimmy says, let me in as a partner. So then he's already in the Sing market. Then from there, we just flew up to Kuala Lumpur to see his KL company. Hui kickers were not there yet. There were somebody else there. So that's how Primer went regional. Singapore and Malaysia.
And then Malaysia.
That's where they started.
And today we are in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Hong Kong, Tokyo,
Thailand, Vietnam, Taiwan. Even
in the US,
Yes, even in the US, correct. And in France,
and
Sledgers.
Sledgers. And God willing, we're still going to grow somewhere else.
If Jollibee can go global, why can't France?
So that's a lot of countries. What about you, Gary? I heard that just like our BOD, you have been moving around. How's your traveling nowadays?
Within the Philippines?
In the Philippines.
I give thanks to Roel. It was his idea that I should visit the provincial towns and share the Primer story with the store people. So the first one we went was in Cebu. When we Moses
nice province.
Went to Cebu. And then the next one we went to Clark, went to Baguio, went to New Valley. Last month I was in Davao and Jensan. And maybe sometime in July, maybe we go down to Bacolod, Iloilo. Basically, I tell those guys how your company started.
Right.
How it grew, how you guys helped the company to grow. And they are grateful to you guys for helping, especially the pioneer car primers. And let's continue to grow.
Any favorite provinces that you that will always occupy a special part of your heart?
I think I like Cebu.
A number of people like Cebu. What is it in Cebu that you like? Is it the food? Is it the people? What?
Lechon kawali.
Lechon kawali.
Yeah.
So moving back to what you're doing, you did say that you have been sharing the humble beginnings of Primer, And as we now start moving forward, we see a lot of changes. We see our landscape changing. You and I are not getting young. Young people are coming in.
Yes.
Yeah. The second generation of people who would be carrying primer to the next level. Yeah. So talking to the second generation, Gary, what would you advise them on?
I think the first thing is they must inherit the hunger of their fathers.
The hunger of their fathers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they must continue to be hungry. Hungry to grow, hungry for success, hungry to expand. That's the first thing.
Hunger.
Hunger is not good enough unless you have determination to feel the hunger. So you need determination.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to take some risk. Not every brand will sell.
Mm-hmm.
So you could lose money on one brand that goes stale.
Yeah.
So you take it. Some will win, some lose.
Willingness to take the risk. Yeah.
And the most important part are the certain old-fashioned, old virtues and qualities that you believe in. Hard work.
Hard work.
There is no substitute.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's no magic formula.
Exactly.
There is no magic wand,
Yeah.
And nobody owes us a free lunch. So
Yeah.
hard work is the most important element
Yeah.
that the second gen must understand.
Well, I heard one guy said that in order for one to harvest, one should know how to farm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And definitely hard work is a
Yes, hard
component
work,
of
yes,
farming.
correct.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice, Gary. That's nice, Gary. And moving forward, we really don't know what's up across in front of us. Yeah. All these things that you're saying are things that would serve them well. Yeah. If there is one thing that you would want our young people to always remember as part of their success formula, what would it be, apart from the three things that you have shared just a while ago?
Take care of the people.
Take care of the
Take
people.
care of your car primers.
Closest to my heart. Take care of
Without them, you can't do anything. So they must always take care of the people.
Yeah. And as a company, is this something that Primer has done in the past, you think?
Well, as a visitor, I think so. I see the five guys mingle freely among the car primers. There's no airs, They talk to each other as equals. Best part is the AGT every year.
Yeah.
To reward the car primers.
Yeah.
And they have the 5-year awards to commemorate their loyalty and long-standing. I think that is the other thing besides the personal qualities. They have to give back to the car primers in as many ways as possible.
Before I let you go, one of the things that I've been wanting to ask you is, you've seen Primer in its early days, you've seen Primer in its growth years, and you've seen Primer now moving into the next millennium, maybe. Yeah. If there's one thing that you see different then and now, what could this be?
Technology. When the guys first started in 85, technology was in its infancy. Okay, first came the computer, the desktop. Then came 1979, the internet. 10 years later, the web. Then came the Wi-Fi. But nobody knew what to do with it until Jeff Bezos showed the world what they can do with technology. He developed Amazon. Shop in the sky, in space, invisible shop. Well, what's your shop? It's up there, what's so superior because I don't pay any renta? Space is free. I don't need any staff to look after the shop because you just go through the computer. But that's technology, the power of technology. What they can do for us. And then 2007 came Steve Jobs with the iPhone, the smartphone. We were using mobile phones with the old Nokia, but that is a smartphone. And accidentally, it helped the online because now you can use the handphone to shop, where before you had to rely on the desktop or the laptop. But now the shop is in your pocket. That's what technology can do for us. If we can embrace AI, we can develop our own online business as a third way of selling. We are selling brick mortar. We're selling business to business. So there's another way to sell. So maybe a different kind of people outside the Philippines,
The good news is technology is one of the platforms that we in Primer 3.0 is really pushing very, very hard.
Good, great. That's nice to hear.
Moving forward with Primer 3.0 with the technology.
One last
Go ahead.
Message for car primers.
Okay, all right.
All for people who work for people. We have some of us don't have the opportunity to work for ourselves. I would say majority of us work for people. Okay. There are only three things to remember when you work for a man or a company. Okay, you're the owner.
Yeah.
You give me a job, you are paying me. So what do you expect from me in return? First, I don't waste your money. I'll be prudent in my spending of the company's money. Second, don't take his money.
Don't take his money.
Don't take his money. Make money for him.
Right.
When you make money for the company, you're the hero.
Yeah.
Nobody will say anything anymore. They can't say anything now.
Yeah.
He's my star earner.
Yeah.
You know what the owner would say to the guy? Hey, don't leave me. Huh?
Yeah.
Those are the three things I would recommend to the wage earners.
Don't waste.
Don't waste,
Don't
take,
waste. Don't
make.
take and make.
Make.
Don't waste. Don't
Take.
Don't take. Make.
Make.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna write it down before I forget and make sure that whatever is remaining days of my life, I'm
It
gonna make
sounds
those.
simple, but it might not be that simple because
Yes.
temptation comes in.
Yes. Pretend that you are talking to your sons and daughters in Kaprimer. Before we end this short interview, what could you provide them to guide them, to motivate them, to inspire them? What are those things that probably you yourself followed in your life and brought you to where you are right now?
I will relate what my father told me. Humans are divided into three tribes. The first tribe are the users. The second tribe are the takers.
Takers.
They take only from people.
Yeah.
Belong to the third tribe, who are the givers.
The givers. Yeah. Wow. When you say givers, what do you mean, Gary?
Everything you can do to help your fellow being, give of yourself,
Yeah.
give of your knowledge,
Love it.
give of your wealth if possible in terms of, helping people bits and pieces here. but
That's
help.
very nice. At the end of the day, this life is all about giving so that other people may likewise give to others
Correct.
and make this world really a happy place to live in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Gary. Yeah. Thank you for this day. And there you are, Kaprimers. Gary Yeang for you.
I thank you for having this session. I'm very gratified. I'm honored.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you.